Well, hello there. This is the Endless Elsewhere podcast. I'm your host, Lindsay, and I'll be catching you up on some things. We'll get to the relevant details soon enough, but first, the broad strokes. Once upon a time, I had my own late-night paranormal radio show, and because of it, I stumbled upon a profound mystery. To explore it, I launched an investigative podcast. This brought me to a man named Joseph, who would become the love of my life and future husband. He and I stayed pretty busy fighting monsters and bad guys until we were very rudely banished to an alien planet. Things here were no less tough for us. To earn a place among the natives, a group of winged humanoids who were living in their own Middle Ages, we had to go on an epic quest to hunt down and slay a shape-shifting witch. Only then could we call their mountaintop castle home. So we did. We went to all of that trouble just to get back and learn that a race of giants had awakened from their slumber and were now coming to destroy us all. Feels like we never catch a break. But anyway, I think that's the long and short of it. Now we can get a little more granular. Dig into those details I mentioned a moment ago. So the natives had a leader, Brusivaal, who I called Bruce. He was the keeper of the orb, an ancient vessel of immense power that opened the doorway between Earth and this world. A portal, the one we used to get here. He wasn't much of a leader, though. Bruce was doing his very best to pretend like there was nothing to worry about, and he tried to convince everyone else of this as well. One person he failed to sway was our good friend, my pseudo-sister, Maevalesse. Or, to me anyway, just May. She knew the coming threat was real and had begun her own preparations, one of which was to train Joseph and I in the use of their primitive weapons. My husband was given an axe and I a sword, so that we could help defend the realm when the giants invaded.
Again!
Nicely done, sweetheart.
You too. You're getting pretty good with that thing.
Whew, thanks. I'd still prefer a sling and a stone. If it's a bunch of Goliaths on their way here.
Yeah, but I don't think we're gonna change their minds about that. Again! Faster now!
We came from a world of guns, but this one had no such projectile weapons. We had brought a couple with us, however. The zappers, we called them. These were not traditional firearms, but rather particle beam cannons created by a certain robotic, mad scientist friend of ours. We were unable to recharge the ray guns. Not here in Middle-earth where there was no electricity. And speaking of earthly inventions abandoned on this world, Joseph had been excavating the Midnight Lightning. This was a hybrid exploratory vehicle driven here a century earlier by the last group of humans who came to this other world. Once he'd fully uncovered the derelict vessel, my husband took me to see it.
Behold! I said, behold!
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Right? Isn't it marvelous?
It's something.
I was less than impressed. To me, it was just a hulking mass of rusting metal. Joseph thought the inside might hold more interest for me. He was mistaken. We walked down the long length of the Midnight Lightning to the helm or cockpit, whatever you'd call it.
Oh, well, this is something.
Yeah, at least in here you can tell what's missing. The control board and pilot chairs would have been right here.
Was that a periscope?
Once upon a time, yeah.
And why is there a ladder in the middle of the... Is that a hatch in the ceiling?
Yeah, they used to be able to climb onto the roof from here.
Does it open?
Unfortunately, no, and I've tried. It must be rusted shut.
Do you want me to give it a go?
It's not gonna open, babe.
What? Afraid of finding out your little wife is stronger than you are?
Yes, actually I am.
Oh, I should have mentioned earlier that it was now springtime on this world and that the natives were celebrating their new year. So there was a party that night. Joseph and I embarrassed ourselves by showing up late. Then we embarrassed ourselves even more by, well...
Oh, my dear, we must trip the light fantastic.
What the flip does that mean?
Baby, we've got to dance.
Absolutely not. We kiss?
Was it humiliating? Yes. Was it a lot of fun? Also yes. When we were finally done, the pair of us moved off the dance floor to catch our breath. We were joined by our once enemy, now friend, Rhemigrayne. Remy, as I call him. Yes, I have nicknames for everyone.
That was, difficult to watch.
Our dancing, you mean? You should have joined us out there, Remy.
I cannot dance.
Neither can we. Didn't stop us.
Next time. Perhaps.
Then May joined us. She was clearly unhappy about something.
What's wrong, May?
We sing when we ought to save our voices for the war cry. We dance when we ought to save our steps for the march. We eat when we ought to save our taste for victory alone.
All right, party pooper. Jeez.
No matter. Once this revelry has ended, we are free to depart.
So we're finally off to find Gentry then.
Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
We ride out at sunup. Meet me at the stables. I will have the manticores ready.
Not wasting a moment, are we?
We haven't a moment to waste, Lindsay.
Jonas Gentry, another human, one of those who came to this other world so long ago aboard the Midnight Lightning, had gone into exile a while back. Well, if we were going to even have half a chance at repelling the invading force, we had to find this man and get him back here. He would lead us against the giants, creatures he had battled before and defeated. Remy wanted to go with us, but May asked him to stay behind, to keep an eye on things here in the realm while we were away. He reluctantly agreed to do so. Before the party was over that night, the natives conducted several baptisms, a practice that initiated people into their faith. Joseph and I had a standing offer to undertake this consecration to be fully inducted into not only their community, but their religion. We had, so far, politely declined. We did, however, stay long enough to watch Protenvaire, a young boy we knew, undergo the ceremony. We liked him. He was a sweet kid. Afterward, Joseph and I retired for the night. We had an early start the next morning. We rode out at sunup with May. The three of us did so upon our mounts, huge, lion-like animals Jonas Gentry had called manticores. These creatures were fierce and powerful, but intelligent, even emotional. We'd been bonded to them previously, during our aforementioned hunt for the witch, and part of that process was to name them. I'd called mine Jellybean.
Hey, JB. How you doing, buddy? Ready for another epic quest? That's my boy.
Off we went on another long ride through the alien wilderness. It was beautiful, and it was loud. We rode far that first day. Beyond, actually, we continued on even after the sun had set, eager as we were to find Jonas Gentry. Eventually, however, we had to stop. We were pushing the animals too hard. The three of us made camp and sat around a fire talking. May eventually revealed to us that the coming threat was so much worse than Joseph and I knew.
Their rage, their fury. You cannot imagine it, my friends. In our history, the giants have twice marched on the mountain. But this time will be different. They will come not to conquer, but to annihilate. They will not relent until there is no one left to slaughter. And then, once all the blood has been shed, they will set fire to the mountain, to the very footstool of the Maker. No, Lindsay, it is not I who seeks vengeance, but they.
What was that?
Probably not werewolves this time.
May, could it be them?
No, it is something else.
How do you know?
The manticores would be more agitated.
They're all looking that direction. They see something.
Come!
There, over there.
It's a child. Wait, is that...
Protenvaire.
What happened to him?
We have to stop the bleeding.
I'm trying to, but I can't tell where it's coming from. He's covered in it.
Put pressure here.
Issue la fontaine.
Ernest, non sé, Galician, Talius, Gensinchas, Gaston,
Hey, kid, wake up. Come on, wake up!
Is he?
He has returned to the Maker.
No! What happened? What did he say?
He barely escaped.
Escaped what?
There was an attack. Just after we left. The abominations are there. Now.
Oh, no. No.
What do we do? What do we do, May?
I don't...
Do we turn back?
I don't know.
We can't just leave everybody back there. They need our help.
But we cannot return without Gentry. We must have Gentry.
Maevalesse, there's no time.
The pair of you should go. I will continue on
We
to...
need you, May. Your people need you. Now.
But without Gentry, there will be no...
Forget Gentry.
But we cannot.
Maevalesse, look at him. Look at Protenvaire. That's happening to everyone else.
Yes. Yes, my friends. You are right. We must go back.
I just hope we're not too late.
We already are.
Protenvaire was gone. With the loss of this one life, it felt as though we had lost the war, a war that had begun without us. We had to get back. The three of us started home immediately, riding all night to re-enter the realm at daybreak. The place was not how we had left it, in more ways than one.
It's so quiet now. I figured with the sun coming up, the forest would be alive again, you know? Yesterday it was deafening.
It's them. Their presence here.
Wildlife have an aversion to the Nephilim. The natural flee the unnatural.
Is that why I feel like turning around?
We thought it wise not to go charging in before doing some reconnaissance, to see just how bad the situation was. We found a place that was high up with a good vantage of the natives' home. We looked to the mountain, seeing the impossible.
What is that? Coming up the slope.
I can't tell. Maevalesse, what is that?
I do not know.
I'm not having a stroke, right? Everyone else sees a humongous turtle.
Oh, I know what that is.
What? What is it?
You actually weren't far off, Lindsay. It's not a turtle, it's a tortoise. A testudo.
Talk faster.
That's Latin for tortoise. It was a Roman siege formation.
It is a phalanx?
Yes, exactly.
Guys, what?
That mass is actually a cluster of giants. They've made full-length shields of some kind and have them interlocked around and above them, forming that enormous shell.
Sorry I asked.
The giants were besieging the castle and were soon to overrun it. But there wasn't a lot the three of us could do. It was quickly decided that our only course of action was to distract the creatures, to lure them away somehow, to give our people a chance to recover. There wasn't time to formulate some elaborate battle plan. So we returned to the manticores and rode into the realm with little more than a hope and a prayer.
It's fine, we'll just make it up as we go. Hardly the first time we've done that.
But we should have some sort of... Wait, what about Remy? We left him there yesterday.
I'm sure he's okay, Lindsay.
He lives. I know it in my heart.
Okay, well, what about them? Is this where we leave them?
Leave them?
The manticores. So long as they stay inside the tree line, they should be hidden, safe.
Nowhere is safe, Lindsay. Our mounts will carry us into battle.
I think we're gonna need them, Lindsay. They're pretty good in a fight.
A fight they'll lose, right? Right, May?
Yes.
You're gonna stay right here, JB, okay? Stay with the others. Don't argue with me. We'll be back.
Lindsay, are you ready?
Nope.
The castle was the heart of the natives' realm, sitting up on the mountain, but at the foot of it sprawled a town now on fire. The three of us moved down the street of it with buildings blazing on either side of us. We reached the slope of the mountain and peered up at the attacking giants. I wasn't sure how to get their attention. Fortunately, my husband had an idea.
How was that?
Yep, that did it.
Now what?
Now we run away.
Don't have to tell me twice.
The giants charged down the slope of the mountain like an avalanche. In the raging inferno that used to be a town, we spotted a building that hadn't been found by the flames yet and ducked inside to hide. We watched the creatures in the street as they broke apart from their phalanx. This was our first close-up look at the monsters. Like their shields, they had improvised suits of armor and even torch weapons. Now we knew how this fire got started. Then the giants finished the job, setting ablaze whatever structures were not already burning. They did so in an effort to smoke us out. Literally. We ran from one building to the next.
Did they see where we went?
Not sure. We should assume so.
Which means we'll need a way out. Is there a back door?
There's only the side doors.
Every building shares this layout.
Guess I never noticed.
The town was designed to have accessibility between all of its structures.
Why?
Because it's more neighborly. Who cares?
We kept moving, but eventually hit a dead end. We crashed headlong into a building engulfed in flames. If the three of us remained, we would be incinerated. If we fled outside, well, that's where the giants stood waiting with their torches. Either way was a death by fire.
No good. It's on fire.
So is the next one. We can't go that way.
We can't go back either. May, where do we go?
Here! Down here!
Remy!
Go, now, climb down.
Coming to our rescue, Remy appeared beneath a panel in the floor. Below the building was a secret cellar with a tunnel that ran under the street. We'd eluded both the fire and the giants. For the moment, anyway. We surfaced in another building on the other side of town, but we couldn't remain there. We made a mad dash for our next hiding place. On open ground again, we were quickly spotted and pursued by the creatures.
They've seen us.
Keep running. Stay in front of me.
They're gaining.
Stop looking back. You're gonna... Lindsay! Come on, get up, baby. Come on, we gotta keep moving.
We cannot outrun them. At the ready, my friends. We must fight.
How can we?
We will be swept away.
No, we can do this. Come on, guys, we can do this. Come on.
It's the manticores. What are the giants doing?
They're resuming the testudo. Brace for them.
Away with us.
We can't leave them.
Lindsay, go. Inside, through the back. Lindsay, come on.
I can't.
Don't, baby. Don't watch.
I can't look away. I told Jellybean to stay put. We told them all to stay behind. Why did they?
They chose this.
Death?
It's more than death. Better than. It's sacrifice.
Our loyal animals, who we tried to leave behind, refused to be. We tried to keep them from certain death, only for them to go charging into it. The manticores gave up their lives for ours, to afford us an escape. We would not let their sacrifice be in vain, and continued our flight to find shelter. Our group took refuge in the Midnight Lightning. We thought we were safe. We were not.
It is not in the nature of the giants to fall back as they have done. Retreat is uncharacteristic, but to abandon their search for us completely is bizarre.
Maybe they just gave up.
Back from the opening. Everybody back. Torch! Run! To the locomotive.
Where?
To the other end! The other end! Go!
All right. Now we know the torches have a pretty short range. As long as we can keep a distance, their weapons can't hurt us.
He can't fit in here, right? Right?
The giant dropped to his hands and knees, crawling, squeezing himself into the Midnight Lightning. He came slowly but relentlessly toward us. We fled to the far end of the derelict vessel, to the cockpit Joseph had shown me earlier. This was as far as we could go. We were trapped. The only way out was the hatch in the ceiling that could not be opened. On a desperate impulse, I tried it anyway.
Lindsay, what are you doing? I said it was rusted shut. Oh, that is some straight up bullcrap.
Everybody out!
Our group scurried up onto the roof of the vessel, one at a time, narrowly eluding the giant. But then he reached up through the hatch after us, and...
He's got Remy!
He's trying to pull him back down. Grab him! Don't let...
He won't let go! We're losing him!
Joseph, your axe!
What? Oh, got it! I can't get through!
The seam. Aim for
In the elbow joint, I see it.
Again! Faster now!
Let's go! Joseph, come on! What are you doing?
Trying to get this glove off.
For what? The torch? Forget it. He can't fit through that hatch. He's trapped.
But not dead.
You will bleed out soon enough.
Oh, screw it. I'll use the whole hand. Come on. Yeah. Hey, buddy, here's your arm back.
So, I got the hatch open.
To this day, Joseph insists that he must have loosened it for me when he tried to open it himself earlier. Okay, dude. Anyway, Remy was hurt. Badly. There were native healers in the castle, but it was under siege, so we decided to sneak in through the back. Our plan was to round the mountain and hike up the rear side of it using the switchback. But we weren't the only ones with this idea. Another contingent of the giants was attempting this as well. We tried to stop them. In the fight, I was cornered and nearly killed. I called out for help, and I was heard.
I know you can hear me. Whoever is at the top of that mountain, please help me. Where are you? Are you? Remy! Come on, get up. We gotta get you to the healers.
Cannot. Broken.
There's still time. We can get you up the mountain.
I go up to mountain. Yes.
Good. Okay, good. Let's get you up to...
I go up to mountain.
Remy? Remy! Wake up! Wake up, Rhemigrayne! No! No! Not like this! Come on! Not like this!
Remy went up the mountain. Not to the castle, but beyond it, to the perpetually clouded peak of it where the natives think the presence of their god resides. Our friend went to join his maker in spirit. The rest of us pushed on, eventually reaching the castle. We got atop the wall, and from there, saw that the giants were inside now, rampaging through the courtyard. Joseph, May, and I were about to dive into the chaos to help defend our home, when we heard a voice.
Who's? It's Bruce.
What is he doing with the orb? Oh, tell me he's not.
He is. He's offering it to them.
What?
He's bartering.
What is he saying, May?
He's making a proposition. If he surrenders the artifact to the giants, they must depart not only from the castle, but from our world. Brusivaal is trying to save our home.
Yeah, and at the expense of ours. We have to stop him. Those things cannot get back to Earth.
Too late. He just handed it over. What's the problem? Why isn't Despair doing anything with it? Does he know how the orb works?
Oh, he knows.
What was that, May?
He is a fool,
Despair is breaking the deal.
as Brusivaal should have known that he would.
Beside Domai. Beside Domai.
Fool or not, he did not deserve such an end as that.
Is he giving up? Why did he throw down his sword?
The orb! He's opening the
portal!
He's gone through!
Why only him? What about the other one?
He left his underling to finish off those in the castle. I will see to him. The two of you must go after Despair.
But Maevalesse, I don't know how to...
Our world, our problem. We got this.
Joseph and I chased after the giant, passing through the magical doorway before it closed again. On the other side, we found ourselves atop the roof of a high-rise, an apartment block in downtown Circle City. Not only did we have to find and stop the monster, we had to do it on the double. Remember, my husband and I had been banished from Earth. Banished by people who could track the opening of the wormhole. They would be along soon enough to investigate, and if they found us, we were done for.
Whatever. I plan for us to be gone long before they show up.
Yeah. About that.
About what?
The orb. I was trying to tell Maevalesse back in the castle, but I don't actually know how to use it.
I'm sorry? I assumed you did. Are there not instructions in the books?
The functionality is not revealed in the manuscripts, no. The writers knew the stories would become public one day, so they kept it secret, to prevent the artifact from being used if the key between worlds ever fell into the wrong hands.
We saw Bruce work it last year, then Despair just now.
I just saw them both fiddle with it, not what they did exactly. Did you? Did you see what they did to open it?
No, I didn't, but I would have paid more attention if I thought that, and I certainly wouldn't have let us go through the portal if I'd known. So, we're stuck here, Joseph? You should have told May. Told me.
I'm sorry, everything was just so chaotic. I didn't...
You get how bad this is, right? It's not just that we're back on Earth where the Cabal wants us dead. We're in the quarantine zone. Trapped with who knows how many resurrected corpses just waiting to rip us apart.
It's bad. I know. It's bad.
So, yeah. There was yet another wrinkle. The living dead. You guys remember the closed circle solution, right? Well, it had gone into effect while we were away. Maybe because we were away. The Cabal had faked a zombie apocalypse. Well, the zombies were real enough. It was the cause that was a lie. Our enemies possessed technology, a machine, that emitted a particle field that stimulated dead brain cells into monstrous activity. Activity like trying to kill anything that was alive. The Cabal, however, had claimed the dead were reanimated by a virus, and they had done so to force a mandatory evacuation of the city. Then, a permanent quarantine was enacted. But why would the powers that be go to all of this trouble? Long story short, their ultimate plan for world domination involved our hometown, where, in the distant future, a spaceship full of giants is to land. Yes, giants, like the one we were hunting presently. Joseph and I searched the building, eventually finding him in the natatorium. He was standing at a bay window, surveying the dead city. The Cabal had not fooled us with their schemes, but they had fooled this creature. Joseph thought we could use this against him.
We have to convince him that it's not just this city, but the whole planet that is overrun with the dead. He must believe that the homeworld he's been trying to get back to now for so long is spoiled, infected, that there is an unchecked disease here that will ravage him and the rest of the Nephilim just as it did mankind. I'm betting that even giants are afraid of the microscopic.
You think we can scare him? Make him go back?
He'll retreat, yes. And when he reopens the portal, you and I, we will be right behind him.
But he'll still be just as much of a problem back there as here.
Sure, but we have a much better chance of taking him out on the other world. Maevalesse has probably already cut down his friend by now. But more importantly, the orb will be out of reach of the Cabal, who are still on their way here, if you remember.
You said we had to convince him. How are we supposed to do that? I assume there's a language barrier. Besides, don't they use their minds to...
Yes, so we let him scan our thoughts.
Wait, what now?
Shh, come on, be quiet.
Sorry, wait, what now?
If you and I concentrate hard enough on scenes of worldwide destruction, we can trick him into thinking this is a global plague.
You're overestimating my imagination.
Just try to conjure up every disaster and apocalypse movie you've ever seen. He's not going to know the difference. But it's important that we stay focused on that imagery alone.
Because this could backfire in a huge way.
Surprise, surprise, it did. It backfired in a huge way. So in addition to being enormous, terrifying monsters, our enemy was also highly intelligent and even have their own evil psychic powers. That's what Joseph was referring to. The plan was to let the giant read his mind, which he did, but then the creature took a mental hold on my husband and sent him to kill me.
Did it work? Joseph, did it... Joseph, stop! It's me! Wake up! Wait! I don't want to hurt you!
The giant had turned Joseph into a zombie. Fortunately, however, there were plenty of real zombies around. A whole room of them, actually, right across the hall from the natatorium. In my struggle with Joseph, I managed to get the door open and they came pouring out. Also, fortunately, instead of us, they went after the giant, who promptly fled from them. He could have easily dispatched them all, of course, but the monster feared contracting an imaginary virus. Even though Joseph had been taken over, his plan was a success. He had managed to convince the giant that the reanimated corpses carried a deadly plague. Once the giant was gone, his hold over Joseph was broken, and I was given my husband back. There wasn't enough time for all of the apologies Joseph wanted to make. We had to get going. The pair of us chased after the giant, who'd made a quick return to the roof where he would use the orb to cross back over, just as we'd hoped. Before he could, though, the Cabal finally showed up. They had clashed with the giant and were still fighting with him by the time we'd caught up. We used this distraction to get back through the portal.
Run!
Down! Lindsay, down!
Did he just...
Go crashing through the door of the temple? Yeah, he sure did.
What about the...
Close your eyes!
Can I look again? What happened?
He got smoked!
The giant had gone ahead of us through the cosmic doorway, but he had not dived to the ground once on the other side, like Joseph and I had. You see, the Cabal kept shooting at us, their bullets passing through the wormhole as well. These struck the giant, causing him to falter. The creature lost his balance and went careening into the natives' holy temple. This was a forbidden sanctuary guarded by a powerful angelic being who did not suffer intruders. With a swing of her flaming sword, she struck down the monster, reducing him to a cloud of red dust. In his fall, the giant had dropped the orb, which May was quick to retrieve. She closed the portal behind us before our earthly enemies could get through. But we had enemies aplenty on this world. There was still work to be done.
All right, back on the clock.
You have lost your weapons, I see. We must go to the armory. Come.
Before we suit up, May, Joseph and I would like to be... We need to be covered in something mightier than armor.
Oh? You wish to...
We're ready to take the plunge. Yeah.
Our request was honored. Joseph and I were given a wartime baptism then and there. We now belonged to the faith of the natives. And not a moment too soon.
The giants!
They have reached us. Forschutkana!
What did you tell the strangers to do?
They will reinforce the postern door while the three of us prepare for battle. To the armory!
Still soaked in the sacred water, we went to get suited up for our final battle with the giants. As we did so, a secret of ours was revealed. There was a piece of Nephilim technology we had stolen last season during our quest, which had recently found its way into the armory. It was essentially a universal charging device we'd been using to power all of our equipment for the podcast. But then Joseph thought of another use for it.
Give me the charging plate. Give it here.
What? What are you doing?
Idiot that I am! How did I never think to try this?
Try what?
Harness these ray guns. We could never charge the zappers, but with this thing...
No flippin' way. Do you really think it'll...
Yes! Yeah!
Woo!
What? What is this?
It's what I've been wanting since the start. A sling and a stone.
I do not comprehend.
Okay, so these are particle beam cannons, May. Guns that shoot bolts of lightning.
And they're how we're gonna win this war.
If ever there was a pair of equalizers, the zappers were it. With these, we could switch from defense to offense. We could take the fight to the giants. And we did.
Hammond! Demon spawn!
We've got them on the run now.
Pursue! They must not escape the passage.
Let's go, giant slayers!
We quickly turned the tide. Of those giants besieging the castle, we slew all but one. The creature, in an act of desperation, tried to do what the giant on Earth had.
What's he doing?
I know what he's trying to do.
Joseph, what?
He's trying to take a hold on us. He knows it won't work on the Strangels, but we're humans.
So you're what? Testing it? You want to know if we're truly under the same protection? Now that we've been...
I know that we are, but now I want him to know it.
Having been baptized into the faith of the natives, under the divine protection of their god, we were now shielded from the dark influence of these monsters. They could no longer enslave our minds. The giant, realizing this, turned and fled back to his fellows, a reserve force that awaited us on open ground. This was the last wave of the creatures. We marched out to meet them, to end this war. We won. But it didn't really feel like victory, not with how many we lost. We collected and buried our dead. Protenvaire, Rhemigrayne, Bruce. With the Keeper of the Orb now gone, it was decided that May should assume the role. With her permission, Joseph and I were allowed to reopen the portal to make a brief return to Earth. We plan to deliver this audio to my old friend Sylvia, who ensures this podcast reaches the world. We found a remote place to cross over so that we would emerge from the portal outside of the quarantine zone and hopefully elude the Cabal.
Good job on the calculations. It looks like we're way outside of the city.
Yeah, this looks good. No one around. We should have plenty of time to vanish before Heartland comes.
I dropped the stuff.
They were waiting for us. How did they know?
I lost it. Where'd it go? We have to...
Lindsay, you've been shot. Oh, baby, no. Here, put pressure here.
No. We have to find... for Sylvia.
They're coming. We have to go back. Before it closes, come on.
Our plan was a failure. They knew we would try something like this, and were ready for it. The Cabal ambushed us almost immediately. I took sniper fire. Joseph carried me back through the portal before it closed. Our enemies could not reach us, but it didn't matter. They had already killed me. Or tried to. I got really close to dying when... well, clearly I'm still alive and kicking. To find out how, you'll have to check out our new season, listener. In the meantime, don't forget to do good, fight evil, repeat.